We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Guyger, guilty of murder.
I have nothing that I want to say to Amber Guyger. I just want Amber Guyger to sit in prison where she is.
And shut up.
On September 6, 2018, Botham Jean, a PricewaterhouseCoopers accountant, was in his apartment, sitting on his couch enjoying a bowl of ice cream and watching TV, when now former Dallas police officer Amber Guyger burst in. She had just finished a 13-and-a-half-hour shift when she opened Botham Jean's unlocked door instead of hers. She shot her neighbor in the chest, mistaking him for an intruder. Amber was at the wrong apartment. She lived directly underneath him. Moments after the shooting, she says she realized she was at the wrong apartment. 3 weeks later, she was fired from the Dallas Police Department.
We are now at 2 years since your brother, your son, Botham, was killed. Tell me about how you've been in these last 2 years.
These past 2 years have been extremely difficult. I know for the first year, the only way I could explain it is darkness. I could barely remember that first year. Everything was just dark. It's like being underwater. The second year, I feel like I've gained a little more strength, but that strength is really to fight for justice.
Seeing so many other cases of police brutality on Blacks, it just brings Botham's death right back. So it's really been a painful 2 years. It's been very, very hard. It's been very difficult to deal with all of what happened to Botham and also what's happening to Blacks in America.
Have we gotten anywhere at all since Botham and since George Floyd?
I don't think we've gotten anywhere. In fact, if we've gotten anywhere, we've gotten to a worse spot. Because the way Botham died, I thought it was unique, out of this world, for someone to be shot in his own apartment by a police officer who mistakenly went to the wrong apartment, as she said. When I reflect on all the protests that took place after Botham's death, I thought it would have sent a message to America that this should stop. But it doesn't seem to be changing the way in which police do their work. What is heartening, though, on the positive side is that I'm seeing some laws are being proposed that will prevent some of the occurrences.
Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of the Savior.
Botham came to the U.S. from St. Lucia to study, as many West Indians do, hoping to return to his island to share his knowledge to improve it, eventually wanting to become prime minister.
What's your favorite memory of him?
There is no one favorite memory of Botham. For me, every day I try to replay our last conversation, and that was his last day.
What did you talk about?
He was happy about his birthday. We spoke about his birthday coming up. 2 weeks, we've been going back and forth on what his birthday gift should be. So that day he changed it again. We spoke about the first football game of the season. So he was excited to watch that because he thought he's been working so much, he thought he missed it. So he was just all around so happy that day. So I tried to hold on to that.
I'm West Indian too. And our parents come here and send their children here for better, for opportunity, for what Bo was doing. And this is the same country that took it away. So it just, you try to make sense of it. You know, where do you go? What are you supposed to do?
And that's exactly how I feel when people ask me, why did you send Brand to the same country that took over? I just feel that the way Botham died, in the comfort of his living room, where is the best or safest place?
I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please?
Brant is Botham's little brother, who sent shockwaves across the internet when he hugged Geiger during the trial and told her he forgave her for killing his older brother.
I didn't know what he was going to say, but as he spoke, I realized it was an opportunity, that he had taken the opportunity to free himself. He was an 18-year-old, wrapped up in grief, sadness over the loss of his brother, and his life had stopped. He dropped out of college. I was very worried about him. So what he did in that courtroom was to free himself. Forgiveness is for yourself. He's forgiven Amber Guyger in order that he could move on. Since then, he's been a completely different child. I applaud him. He has demonstrated much more courage than I have, and I'm trying to get like him.
Mom, do you forgive Amber Guyger?
No, I'm still working on it. And worse yet, every action that she's taken subsequent to my son's death makes it even worse.
No police officer ever would want to hurt an innocent person.
During the trial, Geiger testified in her own defense.
I always carry my equipment in my left arm. We're always taught to keep your gun side hand empty at all times.
A jury found Geiger guilty of murder. While prosecutors recommended a sentence of 28 years, one for each year Botham would have been alive at that point, she was given a 10-year sentence. This August, Geiger's attorneys filed an appeal, wanting to dismiss her murder charges. They instead are calling for a lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide and a new hearing. Inside Edition Digital reached out to Geiger's attorney and did not receive a response. This is a snippet from the appeal he filed. They argue there is not sufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Geiger committed murder and that killing Botham was a mistake.
Amber Guyger is saying that she's appealing on the grounds that she acted in self-defense. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, self-defense against what? Because the only threat that Botham posed to Amber Guyger on that night was the color of his skin. I think Amber Guyger is just showing how ruthless she is, and her gang of attorneys and police officers who are supporting her are just the same ruthless individuals. So she's making it very, very, very difficult for me to follow God's command of forgiving.
Botham's family has filed a civil suit and wants to hold the city liable as well. The city of Dallas has declared September 29th Be Like Bo Day. It is the day Botham would have turned 29. It honors the St. Lucian native, calling on everyone to emulate and embody his spirit of kindness and service. However, it is celebrated on September 6th, the day Botham was killed.
How do you gather the strength to do that, to take a day that has upended your lives and turn it around in such a good way?
Botham was all about kindness, so we're doing it to honor him. Yes, I would have preferred to stay in bed and cry all day, but that's not what Botham was about, and I don't think that's what he would want for us.
Allison and Allisa have also started the Botham Jean Foundation. Through it, they've given back to communities locally and internationally, from Dallas to St. Lucia to Ghana, continuing to spread smiles and hope, just like Bo.
If there's one thing you could say to Amber Guyger, what is it?
Just one thing?
Take liberty.
Ever since Botham was killed, I tried to picture what he went through. And for a while, I would say maybe for the first year, I played different scenarios in my head. And the one thing that stands out is if Amber Guyger, and I would love to tell her this, if Amber Guyger asked Botham one question, she would have gained a friend.
That's right.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Stephanie Officer.